Thought I could count on you. I thought we had a deal. I gave you all I had. Put you in front of friends. It was me and you. For it was one of them. I introduced you to them. I should have seen it then. It was never about me. It's what I could do for you. What you could get about me. Who I could introduce you to. I knew the truth. Still there was nothing I would do for you. A fool for you. You break my legs. Still jump through hoops for you. I thought we had a deal. 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 It's hard to let you go when I'm still holding on. Said I should leave you, I don't need you, should be moving on. This shit is stupid hard, and I ain't ready for it. Said I should leave you, I don't need you, I ain't ready for it. They weren't there for it, no, they weren't there, were they? They weren't there when she despaired to have her prayers working. She wanted to die daily, and I was 9 maybe. I'm on the couch with mom, talking about don't cry, baby. We'll be alright, baby. Yeah, we gon' make it through. I'm scared to death inside, but I know I can't let it through. I ain't know where to turn, I didn't know what to do. You gave me hope when there was none. I owe my life to you. I thought we had a deal.
Leave me not ready to let you go. Let you go. I'm begging, don't leave me. Take anything you want, everything if you want it.
You gave my life purpose before it had any. You gave me courage when I didn't have any. We were the best of friends before I had any. I gave you all I had. You turned your back to me. You set a trap for me. I never seen it coming. You had me blind to it. If I didn't want to feel you numb it. You left my life a wreck, and I hate you for it. I'm still in love with you, and I hate you for it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to St. John Live. We're doing a little something different tonight. It is Thursday night at 11:32, and we doing it, like I said, different. But I want to give some shout outs here to my page sponsors, man. One Stop Phone Shop out of London, Kentucky. Josh Maxey and Daryl Hudson down there by Walmart in London, Kentucky. All your Apple products, iPhone needs, anything, they've got it, man. They got a Christmas special coming up. So, you know, if you're looking for good deals, man, go check them out. They will hook you up. Mention my name. You might even get a discount. I don't know. Give a shout out to Adam Walker with Get Live. All your Get apparel that you see me, flashing around, and everybody else flashing around. I had one on earlier. It was camouflage, and you couldn't see me, so I had to take it off. My lights was not, you couldn't see my background, looking all pretty up here. And, Angelique made me like, listen, get rid of your camouflage. They can't see you. So I had to take it off. I got my white tee on. But anyway, I know it's late, and I really don't care because tonight is something special. But post your sobriety clean dates. Let us know where you're watching from. I'm going to post mine in here. 6116 from Richmond, Kentucky. I'll give you all time to get yours posted. Let me know you can hear us pretty good. Let me know you can see us pretty good. This is an all new setup in here. Like Angelique's like, is this your podcast in here? I was like, yeah, we're in the master bedroom back here. Shout out to my wife. She's got the kids in there in the living room. She's a huge supporter. She allows me to do this. But St. John Recovery, we have beds available, male and female, 859-300-1503. The hardest 3 words you're ever going to say is, hey, I need help. But the most rewarding 3 words you're ever going to say is, hey, I need help. And that's what tonight is about, man. The hardest 3 words you're ever going to say is, hey, I need help. If y'all don't care, man, like I said, hit that share button. This one's going to be, she's getting a little emotional over here. and it's fine. It's fine because, recovery, they say we get our feelings back. And the most, the sucky part about it, we get our feelings back. And it's okay because that's why I wanted to go live tonight, man. The holidays is coming up. We just got through Thanksgiving, and we got Christmas coming up, and it's okay to feel what we need to feel, because feelings, sometimes we need to feel that. But like I said, hit this share button, because it's going to be a hope shot for a lot of people. And I know my wife's in there probably tearing up right now, and it's okay, babe. We love you. I'm going to give in these comments, man, and give some shout outs here real quick before we get started in this story. Angelique's in here. Let's see. Your sister, is that her?
Yes.
What's her name?
Allie.
Allie Cox. Welcome, Allie. Glad you can join us. Hit that share button one time if you don't care. I've spoken with her before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, welcome, Allie. Nice to meet you. I tagged Jody Kane, Erica Gentry, Scott Chattel. They're probably in the bed. It's past their bedtime, and Kim Kirby followers. But they might get to this video tomorrow. I'm just going to see who. Blake Hamilton, I see you, man. But yeah, I don't know who else is in here, but we're going to get started, man. And I'll go ahead and introduce, this is Angelique. I call her AKA Angelique. I remember doing her phone screening, and I'm not going to tell her story, but, she had, went to a small treatment, got in a little trouble. And I remember doing her phone screening. She had 2 questions. Number 1, when can I have my car? Number 2, I think, when can I work? And I think
3, because I said, can I keep my phone?
Yeah, can I keep my phone? And I said, well, I got a question. How old are you? And at that time, you was how old?
18 years old.
18 years old. So I knew that we was going to have our hands full with if she decided to come to us. So I'm going to let her share a little bit of her story. But this is Angelica, man. Angelica has been with us. She got with us in October. And she completed our program, man. She has done awesome. She has been an A+ model. She has been an A+. I don't want to call her a client. I want to call her a representation of what St. John Recovery is about. She has been a productive member of society here in Madison County, Richmond, Kentucky. She has went and spoken in jail with me. She has went and spoken in schools. She has went and spoken for Richmond Police Department. She has went and represented what recovery is about for the Dry Dock, and much more. For her at a young age, man, she had choices to not surrender and buy into this program, but she found something here when she arrived at her new destination when she got to Richmond. And I'm going to back up and let her introduce herself and kind of a little bit of her story. And like I said, I've never heard her speak other than inside the jail. So, I'm just going to let her kind of share a little bit of her story, man. And this right here is a hope shot. And the whole point of this podcast tonight is she's leaving in the morning. She's got packed up tonight. She moved out of the transitional living. She got her own apartment. She's done the things that was required in recovery, that they say we get things back along this journey of staying clean and sober. And she has done that as a productive member of society, as a model client, as a model citizen. She achieved all these blessings, man, that God has brought upon her. But in the morning, sometimes she is going back home to Paducah, Kentucky, to be with her family. And that is okay, because she's got the tools she needs here to go anywhere in this world and do whatever she wants to do and continue this journey. And the doors will always be open here. The doors will, listen, she's coming back. We got some plans coming up. But listen, I'm going to let you share whatever you want to share on, whatever you want to talk about. I may interrupt. I may come in and, but yeah, I'm just grateful to have you here. Last minute, she was in the living room. She come by and got some gifts that my wife made for her. And I said, let's go live tonight. She's like, let's go. I said, all right, bet. Give me 10 minutes. Let's go. So here we are. So Angelique, just kind of share on your story, what got you, and let's just share some hope tonight. And just be you. You got this.
Okay. I'm not going to go into detail about a lot of things because that's a lot for a live. But I I grew up a really rough life, like most of us. I was abused a lot. I had a lot of trials and tribulations growing up, um, until I was about 14 years old. Um, I was homeless at 13, living in cars, living in hotel parking lots. Like, was never able to make it into the hotel because we didn't have enough money. Um, just little stuff like that. Um, I was taken away from my mom whenever I was 6. I always felt like no one ever wanted me because I felt like I was like a damaged child. So from an early age, I never felt like I fit in anywhere. Like I wanted to be like everyone else, like all those kids with the mothers and fathers, all those kids with like a stable home and a stable environment. But because I couldn't find that, I ended up like being friends with the ones without the stable environment, like others like me. But whenever I was 14 years old, my granddad got custody of me, and by then, like I was smoking weed whenever I was 12. After that, I stopped smoking weed when I got with my granddad because life got better for me. But at an early age, like I still hadn't dealt with my trauma. I still hadn't coped with it. It was still pretty hard for me. Uh, this is really hard because I want to cry right now,
You're
but
fine.
we're not gonna cry right now. Anyway, so I moved out at the age of 18 years old because I wanted like to do the things that I wanted to do on my own, and I couldn't do that with my granddad because I had an amazing freaking granddad who protected me and led me in the right path. We went to church every Sunday. We like he was a great person, but I couldn't handle it. I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to be my own person, and I felt like I couldn't do that. So I moved out the day that I turned 18. I got my own apartment. By then, I was starting to get a little bit worse out there. Like, I hadn't gotten like completely on drugs yet, but the drinking and the smoking weed was getting really bad. I moved into my apartment. I tried to get my life together. I kept a steady job, not really kind of, I kept jobs, but I was always like leaving jobs or quitting jobs and going to another job, being steady there for a little bit, getting a different job. Like I wasn't functioning. Like my life was definitely unmanageable before shit got worse. But I got my own apartment. Like I thought life was starting to get a little bit better. And then in March of 2022, my granny died. Like the person that I loved, God, more than anything in this world. She passed away unexpectedly, and I said, fuck it. Like, I couldn't handle the pain of losing her. So drinking became my getaway at that point. I drank every single day and I drank hard. And no one knew. And then, like, I was losing jobs, all that stuff. And then someone introduced me to a Perk 15.
Not the Roxy's. What?
Hey. By then, Perk 15s did not have fentanyl in them. I don't know if they do now, but this time they didn't. I loved the feeling of it, but it still wasn't what I was searching for. Like, I was searching for something that could take the pain away. And there was only one thing great enough in this world that I thought could take the pain away, and that was fentanyl. I remember the dates, like the first date I ever used, because I took a video on my phone, and I was like, I took a perk for the first time or something like that. So I can remember the dates, but I got into a really bad crowd with a not so good person. He was a dealer. I met him at a job that wasn't a good job. And he moved in with me. I loved what he had. I loved what he could do. I loved his mindset. That was everything to me, which we all do. We all love like the drug dealers and the go hard people. So I let him move in with me. I saw what he had, and at this time I had no clue what fentanyl was. I just knew that people were talking about it, and it was a big drug, but that he was using it one day, so I was like, I want to try it. Let me try it. He tried to stop me for a while, but when you want something, and you have that mindset, you're going to do it no matter what, no matter who tries to stop you. So that's what I did. I used it, and I'll never forget that feeling in all of my life. It was the greatest feeling in the world. I didn't think about anything. I didn't feel any pain. I didn't think about all that stuff that I went through as a kid. I didn't worry. I didn't stress. But that it also comes with a bad feeling. Like that good feeling also comes with a bad feeling. The feeling of guilt, the feeling of what did I just do? Like you still feel bad even then. So I after that I was hooked. I didn't know how to not function without it because I had one day where I didn't feel that pain and I wanted that I wanted to feel that for the rest of my life. So I got addicted. July 27th, 2022 was the first time I ever took my first pill. Let me just say my life spiraled so fast. So my sobriety date is 9/14/22. So in that span, my life spiraled so fast. I overdosed. My first time ever overdosing was August 18th. Everything was good until then. And then when I overdosed, that's when things started spiraling really bad. I was really miserable in between that. Like, I can remember feeling like complete crap about myself. I didn't want to be around anyone. I wanted to, hold myself in. I can remember, we had, this little bar. I can remember sitting under that bar, using by myself, praying that God would just take me away. Please, God, let this be the last hit that I make. Please, God, let this be it for me. Because I didn't want to live anymore. Because the life that you live in the madness is not the life that anyone in this world wants for themselves. But you don't know how to make your life better. So I prayed for death every single day. And then I finally overdosed. For me, it was a finally. It was it's here. It's happening. I'm.
So what age did you overdose?
18 years old.
18 years old. You done overdose first time?
I overdosed about 30 times, and it was every time I took a hit, I overdosed, basically.
So you're 18 years old, done caught up in the grips of addiction, done dancing with the devil, done going down, living life wide open, knocking on the devil's door, and you're 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like today, looking back, you know what I'm saying? Knowing what you know today and experiencing what you've experienced here, being with us, we can never go back and change what we've done or what we did.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you do different? Or if somebody was watching and can relate to your story, the drugs and alcohol doesn't fix nothing.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We can mask all this stuff. We can push all this stuff down. We can hide. We can, our emotions, our feelings, we got to be tough. Woo, 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 woo. But 18 years old, I started at 21. I'm only a few years now. I'm 44. So, and you're
19
right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're 19. So there's a huge age difference here. I'm like your dad. Marie's like your mom. You're our daughter. My stepdaughter is older than you. So my point is what made you turn to, and I know that you mentioned the dude, the dope dealer, the nice car, the rent, whatever. But what can you tell somebody out there that is going through what you went through or experiencing what you're experiencing, what not to do to end up where you getting ready to explain where you ended up at? You know what I'm saying? What?
So let me put it this way. If I could go back to that girl before drugs, even before drugs, we found a way to cope with our pain. Some people didn't, some people did. So for me, I did. And I will say, if I could go back to that little girl, I would tell her, all those horrible things that was said to you, all those things that was done to you, it doesn't define who you are, and it doesn't make who you are. We are, every single person in this world is beautiful, and every single person in this world is worthy. And the pain that you're going through now is only temporary. You know, it doesn't last forever. There's so many things I would say to that little girl that was crying and hurt. But I will say that, like, God carries our worries. God carries our pain on his back.
Mm-hmm.
So why should we carry the pain too?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
I would say that.
So all this drug use that's starting and all this downhill, all this downhill spiral, like, where does this lead you? Where does this end you up at?
Well, I ended up in jail due to, I was so high out of my mind that I decided I was going to get in a car at like 2 a.m. and go driving to get candy, and I ended up wrecking. So I got possession charges and a DUI. I was 18 years old and I was going to jail. Like, I can remember sitting there thinking, like, this is really how your life is going to be.
Right.
You know, like, jail, Angelica, jail. And, like, I can remember growing up saying I never wanted to go to jail. Like, jail was the best thing in the world to me. So it ended up in jail. It ended up in, I lost everything that I had. I even lost things that weren't mine. So I got evicted from my apartment, you know.
So did you really lose things, or did you give them up?
I gave them up. I walked out
That's what we do.
because I didn't care.
You know, and that's what, like, and I make people mad because I used to say that I lost this, or I lost that, or I lost this and I lost that. And it took somebody to shut me up and say, listen, Mike, you didn't lose nothing. You gave up everything you said that you used to have, the cars, the home, the business, the whatever that meant so much to you. Thank God I didn't have kids then, you know. And people say CPS took them, you know. No,
You gave them up.
I gave up everything that I had in my life to chase that next fix, that next feeling.
Yep.
That is the disease of addiction. That's what it does to us. That's what it grabs a hold of our soul. When I shot up for the first time, I sold everything in me for that next feeling.
Yeah.
And I gave everything in me that I was worth, had, bought, traded for, sold, had. I gave it up for everything. And that's the sad reality, man. We will give up. I've traded cars for a bottle of pills and money before to keep from withdrawing. That is how bad this disease will get a hold of us. And the mental obsession, man, will just trap our minds. And that's all we think about. I remember sitting on the bed and I would rock for 3 hours back and forth, fiending.
Yeah.
Waiting on that clock to strike 8 o'clock to call my dad. He's dead now. I can speak on it. Call my dad so he wouldn't bitch me out when I wake him up. Like, Dad, I'm fiending. I need to come to see you.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully he's not fully awake because I don't have no money. When I get down there, I'm gonna faint. I'm just gonna aggravate until he gives me some pills or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's just crazy, you know. And today it's not like, I'm sitting here looking at my wall of, you know, we're looking, when you see us looking up, we got pictures and stuff hanging here of where we was at before to where we're at today. And, you know, the Hope Center pictures and like, we're free today, man. And you're free today to go wherever you want to go. And don't ever forget the pain you was at of that moment of desperation, of I need help. So let's follow through. And I see your sister here brought up a point. So after overdosing, what how did this play out?
I remember the first time that I overdosed, I was super scared. So I called my sister, and because I just wanted someone to talk to, because it truly terrified me, but it wasn't enough to make me stop. I didn't care. I remember right after I overdosed, I went right back and took a hit. But I called my sister and I explained to her that I came up with a bunch of lies. Like I said that I had a seizure and then that I overdosed on Tylenol and ibuprofen. You know, the lies that we make up to justify our stories or to make them seem better than what they actually are. And by this time, she knew. She always knew because so she has 3 beautiful babies, and by then she only had 2. And I loved those babies with everything inside of me, and I would go visit her all the time. And then I just quit whenever I got on drugs because I didn't want to be around her kids high. I didn't want to be around her high. Because it was just because I didn't want her to know. That was it, you know. So she had knew or whatever, but she didn't know the right moves to make. So she waited, and then I went to jail, and then by then she explained this to me as she knew that she had to do something then because my life was going so fast, like it was bad. So she decided that one night she was going to come to my house and kidnap me, literally. So she came, she tried to kidnap me, whatever. I got in the car and then I realized what was going on. So I made her take me back home. And the next day I got served with Casey law papers. The case law was brought to her through someone else, but I'm glad that it was. So she Casey lawed my ass like she should have. And I can remember I was so mad. So one of the biggest things that's like in recovery, we have to forgive ourselves, right? And one of the biggest and hardest things to work on to forgive myself was when her husband would tell me all the time that she was staying up all night crying because she was scared that she was going to get that phone call that I was dead. And I can remember looking at them and being like, I don't care. I really don't care that she's hurting. I don't care that she's in pain. And like, that was one of the hardest things that you forgiving yourself is really hard, but you have to do it because without forgiveness is such a big key in recovery. Yeah. But that was super hard because it still makes me emotional that I treated her like that. So for a long time, she literally looked up every option. She was brought the Casey law, so she Casey lawed me, and I was really mad. But I knew I didn't want to go to jail, so I went. I tried to get clean because I was like, well, if I have a clean drug test, I don't have to go to rehab. So this is where my clean date comes in. She Casey lawed me, and then like 3 days later, there was an indictment out for the guy that I was with. They did like an 18 people indictment. Paducah is really bad right now, like bad. It's been bad for a long time. But he got picked up on it while I was at work and I was drug testing for my work, and he got picked up while I was at work. So I can remember I was like, well, how am I going to get my dope? Not, oh, he's going to jail. It was, how am I going to get my dope?
Yeah.
So I could not leave either. So when you're drug testing, you can't leave until you're able to make a full cup of pee or whatever. So I couldn't leave, and I was so mad. I was like, what the heck? Because I knew if I left, then I could go get the pills. That's all I cared about was those pills. But I came home. I couldn't find it. Like, I was so mad. But I was like, dang, you got to be clean, though. You can't take these pills because you got to get through this so that whenever the Casey law's over, you can use again, So we did all the assessments. We did everything that the Casey law requires you to do. Yeah, I still wasn't clean. Like, I had got clean, but fentanyl didn't come out of my system for me for like 9 days. Like, that's how long it took for me. So we went to an outpatient place that ended up recommending outpatient for me because that's what they were. So the case law was through by then. the judge ended up recommending outpatient, but the judge also looked at me like before the Casey law was completed, and he had a son, I believe, that overdosed and died from drugs. So as I'm walking out of the courthouse, the judge like starts screaming at me like, get your fucking life together. Like, I mean, screaming, because he's very sincere about this. But still, even at this point in time, I was not high. I still did not care. I was like, you think I give a shit about your son? Like, and that's real. Like, that's really what I thought, because I did not care. I just wanted to get high. That was it. And go back to selling, because I found an addiction in selling too. So when we're walking out the doors, Allie looks at me and she's like, you're still going to rehab, right? And I was like, oh man, like dang. So I knew that I was probably going to go to rehab. So I lied to my sister that same day, and I told her I don't remember what I told her I was going to go do, but it was something. And I went and got pills. I got all the stuff that I needed to use. I drove the 30 minutes away to the outpatient center, and I was sitting in the parking lot. And all of a sudden, like, I'm getting ready to use, like, I got the whole thing ready. And my brother, her husband, drives up beside me. Like, that was God all the way. I mean, God did perfect timing on that, because I feel like if I would have used, I probably would have been dead. And I slung the stuff in my bag, and I get out of the car, all acted normal or whatever. And he calls. I go into the outpatient center, and he calls my granddad, and he's like, hey, can you come up here and unlock her car so we can get in it? So here's my granddad. Jacob explains it as Peepaw was up there in like 5 minutes, and it's a 30-minute drive. Like, this is how much my family cared for me. So they get in my car, they find the pills and everything, they take them to the police, all that fun stuff. And the cop tells me that, the cop also makes them take my phone and my keys. And if you know me, I cannot be without my phone. Like, that is a no-go. So when they took my phone, I was over it. I was done. I was so mad. But so they take my phone and my keys, and the cop basically tells me I need to go to rehab. So Allie's telling me I need to go to rehab. Everyone in the world is telling me I need to go to rehab. So what do we do whenever we're trying to get the people off of our backs? We do what they want us to do until the time is right and we can stop. So that's what I did. I went to rehab the next day, and yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to, there it is, locking. Shoot, my sister commented and said you tried loving yourself in the bathroom, so it kind of threw me off, but locking. I did. I locked myself in the bathroom, and Allie was banging on the door the whole time.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's plenty of times that I went to, check myself into the mental ward just to get my mom and them off my back, and spend 3 to 5 days, and like I'm done, I'm not getting high again. As soon as I get out, boom, I'm right back putting the needle on my arm. But, going for the wrong reasons. But when I finally ended up in a homeless shelter and entered treatment for the first time, I was really done. I was tired. I was broke, busted, and disgusted, So you entered treatment at, was it Isaiah House?
Mm-hmm.
And that was what, a 28-day stay?
Yes.
And you met a few people there that cared about you?
Mm-hmm.
And then you completed treatment there. And then what was your options after that?
So a lot of you know him, but Rob Capley brought me in, and they always discuss the options of what you have. But the one option they don't let you have is to go home. They can't, of course, stop you, but they try not to let that be an option. Yeah. And the way that I felt about home was really bad. So I felt that Paducah was the reason that I got high. I felt that the trauma that happened in Paducah, was going to make me get high, road signs in Paducah, stupid shit, or the fact that all of my drug dealing was up there, or my usage was up there. I tried to make up all these excuses why I didn't want to go back to Paducah, because I truly did not want to believe that I was the problem. Mm-hmm. But we are always the problem. Yep. We take ourselves with us. And until we change ourselves, it doesn't matter where you are, you're going to get high. So Rob suggested Jasmine's house to me, and he was like, do you know Mike and Marie St. John? And I was like, no, bro, I'm not from down here. I don't know this place. I just want to go home. That's it. Because I knew going home meant I could get high. Yeah. So I was like, well, you know what? so the plan, by the way, was when I got out of rehab, I was going to move in with my sister. Well, I didn't want to do that because I don't want to be controlled. It's that simple. I hate being controlled. I learned my lesson real quick, by the way. So I was like, okay, this is my getaway. This is how I get away. So even by then, I still was not in it for the right reasons. I learned a lot in rehab, but I wasn't willing yet. You know, I didn't have the willingness and the mindset to want to change. So I was like, sure, let's go. Let's do it. We did the intake with Mike, and I was like, who the heck are these people? Like, because he was like, don't worry about your car. You don't got to get your car back right now. We'll worry about that in like 6 months. And I was like, 6 months?
Yeah.
Are you wild? Because I needed my car.
Yeah, I remember you was so. I was actually mowing the yard back here.
Yes.
When they called me for the intake, I was mowing the yard. I took my headphones off. I'm under the weather right now, so excuse me, but I was mowing the yard here at the house, and you know I got to stop mowing to do this intake. It's an 18-year-old girl, and here she sits, and she's worried about 3 things. You know, her car, her phone, and a job. I'm like, listen, slow down, bro. Like, slow down. You just completed 28 days. You're just now getting started. But, you know, we're willing to help you, but you got to slow down. Like, whoa.
I was
stop.
on 1,000.
And I got to have my car. Whoop, whoop. I said, well, listen, you're not getting your car, period. I mean, if you're going to come here, first off, you're not going to tell us what to do, number one. Number two, you're going to listen to what we got to say. Slow your roll. And I remember that. Like, I was mad because you interrupted me from mowing the yard. Like, when I mow my yard, I mow my yard. You hear me? But yeah, I remember speaking to you, man. I was like, whoa, we got our hands full right here. And
They had their hands full.
Yeah, so you showed up, and then I think that's when I met your sister on the phone 27 times.
That was a different sister.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't remember. Oh, I do remember what that was about. Listen, we all had our own conflict with each other. So,
yeah.
But like, they all knew that something was off about the way that I was just so up and willing to go to a sober living, because they all knew that I wasn't in it for the right reasons. Sorry, I'm like slowly reading my sister's comments.
But, so when you arrived, after we done the phone screening, and you arrived and you walk into the Jasmine's house here in Richmond, and what did you expect, or what was your, like, this is when it gets real, you know, because I believe this is where you grow the most. I believe this is where you flourish the most. I believe that this is where you got what you needed and become the young lady that you are, is right here. And we've got to witness it. You know what I mean? So what did you expect when you got here and you met us and all that good stuff? Honestly,
truly, I really didn't know, because this was my first time ever doing anything like this. So like when I was walking up to Jasmine's house, I really expected it to like be an office when you first walk. Like, I didn't expect it to be a real house. Does that make sense? I seriously thought it was a treatment facility, just like rehab was. That's what I expected. But when I walked in, like, there's all these girls sitting around this couch. The peer support was at the door ready to meet me and was like, you got stuff? Let's bring your stuff in. Let's do this. Let's do that. Like, all these things were coming at me. And I'm like, okay, this is a lot. And when I walked in, like, I didn't want to smile at anybody. Like, I didn't want to talk to anybody because I was terrified. It was a really scary experience for me. But yeah, I came in thinking that it was gonna be easy. It was not easy. It was hard. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a breeze. And I also came in thinking that I was gonna be out in like 6 months, because he told me I couldn't have my car, but I was getting my car one way or another.
Yeah. So then that's when you met us, right?
I met you first.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was like I was there for like, it was the second day, and he came in and was like, you come with me. And I was like, oh God, what just happened? And we went to the office with the peer support, and that's whenever he was like, why are you here? What are you here for? What are you doing here? What's your plan? Da 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 da. And I was like, oh, okay. And so everyone that knows me knows I cry. like at the littlest thing. So I just start crying, and he's like, "Why are you crying? What are you crying for? Why are you crying in front of me?" You know, because I was just really scared. So, but then I met Marie, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be nice," because she was the sweetest little thing. You know, she instantly came up to me and was like, "I love you." You know, that's the first thing, and then hugged me, and I was like, "This is weird," because I haven't had someone like her in my life ever. So to get someone like her was great. I was terrified of Mike for a long time. It took me a while to get over that. But man, there's some amazing people. I will say that. That house really has truly like made me become the person I am. Like, you know, I always didn't treat that house the way that I should have. Every single person that walks in that door, we all have our own little ways of things. The property restrictions really ticked me off. And then like I didn't have any structure in my life before that, so it had to be brought to my attention a lot by Mike. But yeah, it's an amazing house. The IOP program was great. I know the new one's going to be even greater because Mike's going to be in there running things. But all of the like things that they came at me about and the suggestions that they gave me were real suggestions. Like some I took a little bit longer to think than the others, but they were real and they were what helped me to find the peace and happiness that I have now. And there are so many other people too. I just that's what made like I stayed for as long as I did because I didn't want to like I wanted to keep growing. And I did end up getting my car back, but it was a while. It took a long time. But I stayed for the fact that I knew that I could grow more in that house. I knew that like it was my home. Truly, I felt comfortable in that house. I felt comfortable with these people. Like instantly, like I saw Marie as a mother figure and saw Mike as a father figure because he's over here screaming at me. But and I've not seen them any different since. They've always been those people for me. You know?
Yeah, that's what it's what distilled in us, man. Like we give it to y'all just like they give it to us, and you at your age, that's what attracted me is we had to hit you hard with like the information, the where you could be, where you don't want to be, and all that because you got a life ahead of you. Even though you messed up at an early age, you can take care of all those problems and not mess up again. You know what I'm saying? Like, my wife at her age, and all these other people that come through those doors. You're at an early age and you got a life ahead of you. Everything that you've done can be, erased off, hopefully, in time. And that's the key point. Like, you have a life ahead of you, and don't go doing the same shit you've done before. If you get out there and you feel stagnant, you will know when you get stagnant neutral. You will know when you get unspiritually fit. You will know. Listen, get your ass back.
Yeah.
Get plugged in. You got to listen. This is when the rubber meets the road, and you can do it. Because if we can do it, a lot of people on here is doing it. Tony Barrett just plugged in, man. I see you, Tony. It's going to be strange. Waking up Saturday and not seeing us at the steakhouse or not seeing your people or, because she got an apartment, man. She worked in Lexington. She worked here at the steakhouse, and huge shout out to the Texas Roadhouse, man. They believed in all of our women and all of our men. They give them jobs, and we go in there and eat. And a lot of us, we have our meetings in there, and, Richmond Police Department and whatnot. But, you're a smiling face there. So, so what kind of experiences did you have at Jasmine's house while you was there? Good and bad.
Yeah. it definitely wasn't what I expected. I think I was like, I was there like a week and shit had already popped off because there are others that are more sick than you. You know what I mean? Like, and you have to remember that. Like, some people are not in the same spot that you are in. Some people are more sick than you are. Like, you expectations are a big thing as well. Like, we all hold these expectations on people just to get shot down because why would we hold this expectation? But for one, I will say I have watched Mike and Marie fight their asses off to get to where they are now. Like, that whole year that I was there, I've watched them fight. They just opened up that new building. Like, when I was first there, they were talking about that. To see where they are now, like, it's a big deal. But you witness people coming in there dope sick. You witness people coming in there. Some people come off the streets and have no clue how to clean. They have no clue how to make a bed. They have no clue how to just do real life shit, man. So that could sometimes be very stressful for me because, like I said, I hold expectations. I feel like everyone should be like me, and that's not real at all. So I would get really mad when someone didn't do things because I'm a control freak, like a lot of us. But good things that you get to witness. So people completing, or like people talking about, I get to go see my kid tomorrow, or people talking about, me and another girl in the house, we completed DUI classes together. Like, that was really exciting because I didn't have to go alone. Like, these people, like, in these houses, they become family. Not everyone will, but some people will. You witness people leaving. You witness when those people do leave, they go back out and some die. And then some come back in and then go out again. And then you witness people get booted for things that should not be happening.
Yeah.
I will say Mike and Marie have a very close eye on that house. So you don't get away with much. So, like, the second something happens, Mike is driving there in like 5 seconds on your ass. I can remember there was a client in there that decided she was going to talk reckless to Marie. And this was like my first week, y'all. And she had just gotten off her 30-day property restriction. And she went out with her family and came back and was high. And she got on the phone with Marie because they were trying to drug test her and she wouldn't do it. And Marie was like, why can't you just drug test? She started popping off to Marie, and Mike, I can remember hearing, I'm on the way. Mike got in his car. He was there in like 2 minutes. I was like, whoa. Because it's stuff like that. I was sitting up in the top bunk like, what's going to happen to this girl?
Yeah, she's going to drop or by, Felicia.
And she went by.
Yeah, she was high as boat gas. But, it's something we don't put up with. Be honest and we can help you, but, disrespecting the house, my wife and staff, lying, and, we ain't got time for that. But, so, excuse me, you complete the program, man, and you get your job back. You got a job, or you get your car back, you got a job at Texas Roadhouse. You're going to meetings, you're speaking, you're doing this, you're doing that. Like going into jail with me and speaking here at Madison County, what was that like?
The scariest thing in the world, because, before you speak, you always think, well, what am I going to say? Just let God do it. Just let God speak through you. But yeah, that was scary. I wasn't really sure, like, how to talk to these people, because we all always feel like some things, like, we just want to say the right thing to people. We just want to give them that perfect bit of hope. But God speaks through us in the way that He plans to speak through us. So I just let God do His thing, and I spoke, and it felt really good, because to see the look on some of those people's faces of like, dang, like, she's, at this time I was 19. Yeah, she's 19 years old and she's coming in here sharing like some hope. I was almost at 1 year clean. Like Marie said, I got my own insurance. Like I got my car back. I was paying all my bills. Like that's stuff that people in there don't have. So it was just, it it was exciting. I love being able to give people hope. Like I love being able to help people.
What it's, you know, and just growing on this journey, getting things back, but we can lose them, we can give them up. You got to stay grounded, keep continuing doing what you're doing, and you know, we're super proud of you, and I know in the morning is going to be very emotional. But it's part of it. It's got to be done. It's time to spread your wings and fly. And you've done your part here. You've done your duty. You've done your responsibility. You've gave back. You've carried the message. You've carried hope. You've done everything the book requires. And I personally want to say that I'm proud of you and thank you for everything you've done for us and my family and my wife and for the house and just representing St. John Recovery and Jasmine's house. Like, you have been an A+ role model, and it's people like you that we want to hold on to and keep. But the world needs people like you out there to carry the message and plant the seed to help save somebody that was in your shoes.
That's all
or
I do.
or going to be in your shoes, because the dope game's not changing. It's getting worse, and it's just sad that we're losing people every day. And if you run across this video, man, you can relate to her story. Like, don't let it be your story, man. There is hope. So we're going to wrap this up here in a minute, man. Anything that you want to say before we wrap it up? I know we've been on here almost an hour. We didn't mean to, but we get on here, we don't know what we're going to say.
Yeah.
But she's been with us for a while, and she's going back home in the morning. We got her packed up today from her apartment, and she's going back to Paducah, Kentucky tomorrow. So all my recovery people in Paducah, she'll be in Paducah tomorrow night. So look her up. Get acquainted with her. She'll be over there doing some things, I'm sure. So give us a last hope shot. This is the moment.
I do want to say one thing before I do that hope shot. So I explained the situation my sister case allowing me. A lot of us in this, like in the addiction, like we hate those family members that do stuff like that to us. You know what I mean? Because why? Why would you do that? Why would you make me get clean? Whatever. But for a long time, me and my sister, we didn't talk for a long time because I was mad at her. There were a lot of reasons, but we have a relationship again today. I gave up on that relationship. I gave up on her kids, but I get to be in her kids' lives today. I went to their birthday parties, all this stuff, you can get that back. The promises do come true, man. You have to be willing to work for this. You have to put in that effort. For me, it took me 6 months to do that 4-step, and you can feel it. You can feel when you're not putting that effort in anymore. You start to become that same old person that you was. But man, just put in that willingness. I promise this life is so much better than what anything in this world. God is truly giving me a beautiful life. I have my granddad. I have my sister back. I have those sweet little babies. I get to go snuggle them tomorrow. That's what I look forward to. Those kids love me. I'm jelly to them. And that is one of the greatest things in the world to feel. I didn't have my own kids, but her kids I treat them like they're my own because I love them more than anything in this world. Just put the work in. Seriously, when you do that, you begin to see those promises. You begin to see the world changing around you and you changing. You don't do stuff out of the wrong things anymore. You start to help people because you want to, not because of what they can give back to you. Recovery is beautiful. I cry when people tell me new achievements in their life, because that is beautiful. I you are doing what you need to do. And I I want to keep spreading the hope. Like, that's why I want to go back to Paducah, is because I want to bring more and more hope, because there was hope given to me. Like, there was all this stuff given to me that we can so freely give back. It's beautiful.
Exactly. Well, we're gonna wrap it up, y'all. Man, I'm sorry we're holding y'all up so late. It's 12:30, but you know, I'm just grateful that she can get on here and carry some hope, man, on Friday morning at 12:30. She's another success story, man. We have beds available. Jasmine's house and Corbin's house, 859-300-1503. You know, tell your story, recover out loud, man. Recovery is possible. And we're just grateful that you got to spend time with us and come by tonight. And, you know, in the morning, you'll be on your merry little way.
These are my family. These people here become your family.
You know, it's, and we're always going to be here. You know what I'm saying? Our door's always open. You got our number. Anytime you come in town, we're here. You need a bed, you can go stay at the women. Look, you know, you've always got a bed there, and that's what we tell people, man. It's just awesome to be able to provide. Huge shout out to my wife, man. She's the boss behind all this, man. But listen, y'all need help, man. The hardest 3 words you're ever going to say is I need help. I feel like crap. I'm sick. I'm under the weather. I've been sick all week. My wife's sick. But, you know, we're going to close this out, man. There is hope. Here's a hope shot. Young, dumb, and she come to us, man. And, you know, she finally surrendered. And I got hope in her, man. I believe that she's going to go back and shine light and show there's hope, and show that, you know, there's no hope in dope. Show that recovery is possible, and show that no matter what your age is, that you can tackle life without putting a substance in your body. That's what we got to learn how to do. We got to learn how to handle our emotions, handle life, our fears, you know, our struggles, whatever, without putting dope in our body. And I believe she's going to do it, because she can put up with me and my wife, and, you know, she done it through being sober.
Listen, your wife is the best thing to happen to me. Putting up with you has been real hard.
But, you know, she makes her bed every morning, and when she gets up, that's all that matters. So, well, listen, we love you all, man. If you need us, 859-300-1503. Shout out to One Stop Phone Shop, London, Kentucky. Shout out to GetLiveApparel.com. Adam Larkin, share this out. I don't know when we'll be back live, but we're gonna exit out of here, man. I love you all. See ya.
If you ain't got cold chill, something's wrong with you. Don't know it. You in the wrong building. Nowhere to turn.
I could really use a friend right now. Yeah, I just need a friend. I'm staring at my window.